Hey everybody, what we're going to be tying today is a little Paraloop Emerger pattern. It's a nice little pattern to tie, for fishing dry flies. So let's get started here. For materials, we're going to be using a Tiemco 100 size 14 for a hook. Be using small gold wire for ribbing. Be using dark brown Antron thread and some white Antron thread or Antron yarn. Awesome Possum in brown, okay, and a Grizzly dry fly hackle. Right, so let's get going here. Now I've already got the hook and the vise and the thread on the hook, so let's get going here. Now I'm using 8/0 uni thread, black. You could also use brown, and you could also use it in 6/0. So we've got that on. Now the first thing we're going to do is tie in our tail section. So I've got this Antron yarn I've just taken a strand of it and I've thinned it out just a little bit. We're going to put it on and come back to the barb of the hook. Yes, and we're going to just tie this in. You want this to be about a hook length and length, or yeah, hook length and length. And you can see that's a little too long there, so we're just going to move it back. Okay, there we go. Now, like that there, we're going to just tie it down over the top of the hook and come back. And what I like to do on this yarn is just to wrap up underneath it a couple times, and that will help hold it up to help prop the fly up. There we go. Okay, and later on you can come back and spread it out a little bit so it'll splay it out. So we're going to come up here just a ways, and we're just going to trim that right off there. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie our post in, and we're going to come up maybe halfway up, a little bit past that, but it's pretty close to that. And we're going to just tie this thing in just like this. Okay. You hold it up and just move it back just a tad. Okay. And wrap down over a couple times. And what we're going to do is just going to come forward and back, and we'll just prop it up a little bit. And then we're going to come and we're going to wrap up the post a little bit. Now, for those of you who worked with Antron before, you know that one of the failings of it is it's just as slippery as it can be. So when you get your thread up, taking your thread up, it will slip off. So what I like to do is every 2 or 3 wraps, I come and I just wrap it down. That way that just saves what you've done. You can come and just go a little further up, 2 or 3 more wraps up. You're about as far as you want to be right there. It just slipped off. So there we go. Good. I've got that posted up. Just a couple more wraps up. Okay. Alright, and we're going to come back and we're going to tie our ribbing wire in. Okay. And we could have actually done this the last step, but no matter. As long as we get it in, that's what's important. So come back a little bit. Get it tied in. Okay. Then we're going to take and put a little wax on the thread here. There we go. And get out just a little bit of the dubbing here. And we're going to dub up this little boy's torso right here. I'm just going to string it out a little bit, move it up, kind of massage that till it goes in a thin little strand right here. Goes right to place. Add a little bit more to it. Okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to wrap that up the hook. Just like that. Getting a little bit fatter as you go. Okay. We're almost there. So what we're going to do is put a little more dubbing on this. Okay, put it right up there. Come over one more time. And then I'm going to just, what I'm going to do here, one of the secrets to this, on a lot of parachutes, when you tie them, you'll notice that right underneath the post, there's a kind of a dearth of dubbing right there. So how I'm going to fix that on this fly, I'm just going to counter wrap this wire. The only reason I'm counter wrapping it is just so it shows up a little better. I don't think the fly holds up any better at all. Okay, we're going to come over like this. And then forward like this. Okay. We're just going to take and helicopter that wire off. Okay. And if we look, you got dubbing right up underneath your post. Okay. How about that? Alright, so we're going to straighten that post up and we're going to tie our hackle in. Alright, now I've got a little old hackle right here. I'm already stripped off right next to the bar for a little ways. That's going to give us our purchase point. Now, I'm going to take the dull side of the feather and tie it in with it facing me. And you'll see why here in just a second. So what we're going to do is tie that in just like that. 2 or 3 wraps. I'm going to come around the front of it a little bit. And I'm going to take that little hoot-at of the stem right there and just trim that off. Okay. Most of it anyway, we'll leave a little bit, then we'll just get it down here. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're just going to put this hackle up right next to the post, and we're just going to wrap up 2 or 3 turns, 4 turns, 5 turns, and we're going to come back down. Okay, and we end up with our thread on the eye side of the post. Okay. Next step, we're going to we're just going to wrap that hackle around the post 4, 5, 6 times. Okay. All right, coming down post. All right, there we go. Now, so we're going to tie off this hackle. How we're going to do that? We're just going to come around the post. Okay. Working your thread up underneath that hackle right there. I'm doing this about 3 times. Okay, then I'm going to take and pull it back just a tad and leave my thread on the eye side of the post. Okay, take some fine scissors and come in here and try not to be spastic, but trim that off just like that. Okay, now, as they say in the South, buddy, we're in some high cotton now, so let's get going here. All right, so we're going to take and we're going to just put a little more wax on the thread. I'm going to dub some more here. Now, another thing I need to do right now is I need to go ahead. I'm going to cover this whole up the hook with the 1 layer, 2 layers of thread, just up and back one time. Okay, I put a little more wax on the thread. Now the reason I'm doing the thread up the hook is because what we're gonna do here in just a second, we're gonna tie this post down to the hook. And as I said before, Antron is slippery, and if you've got a little layer of thread there, it will help to keep that Antron from slipping all over the hook and coming around the bottom side of it. It may happen anyway, but we'll see. So anyway, I've got this on. I'm just gonna pull this back. Okay, and notice how I'm just, all right, now what you want to do is you want to check underneath there, make sure your contour and your taper is just right. That looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is going to come up to the front. Okay, just a nice smooth taper. We're going to leave a little room at the eye. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this Antron, the post, and we're going to just put some pressure on it. It's just going to pull that whole hackle over. Okay, just going to set it up just like that. We're going to work our thread around, tie this down 2 or 3 wraps. Okay. Alright, and we're going to trim the Antron back, not boogering up the eye of the fly. A pair of scissors here. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm just going to whip finish this thing. Take a look and make sure the contours look pretty good, and they do. Okay. I'm just going to trim it. We've got ourselves a little fly. Now what you're going to need to do is come back there and just trim some of this stuff out of there. You're going to get some spare fibers there. Trim the tail, set it out, and there you go. Now that's a fishy looking fly. You know, it begs some questions though. Number one, it's not that much different than a parachute. And parachutes for most beginner fly tyers, even intermediates, are probably one of the hardest things they tie. So ask yourself, why in the world would I want to tie that? Well, the thing that I see that a parachute, the only thing about a parachute I don't like is the post that sticks up. It just doesn't look natural. The other side of that is it makes it a whole lot easier to see. This just gets the hackle down a little closer to the water, gives you a little different look. So, you know, just a different look for you. So if you like it, tie it. Hope you enjoy it.